And it's another Monokuma Theatre, no cubs. And then the Monokuma and Cubs Theatre segment began. But with all the Monokubs destroyed, the segment was no longer possible. And so the curtain quickly fell. Short and to the point. I like it. If only the rest of the game was a bit more like that. Time to resume the class trial, and Maki's gonna let us know what happened. The flashback light became the motive. When Kokichi remembered that he was a remnant of despair, I planned to kill him. I thought if I killed him, this game and the battle between hope and despair would end. I was confident in my talent as an assassin. I knew I could be able to do it. We've tried to end this killing game before, but we were naive. Huh? That's what I thought. I knew Kokichi would take advantage of my naivete simply because it's him.
Michael totally gets me.
That's why I needed to settle it myself. I took the poison arrows and the crossbow. It broke into the hangar with an exocell. But when I entered the hangar, I saw something I never expected. Kaito and Kokichi were fighting each other. Kokichi was shot in the arm with a crossbow arrow, probably by Kaito when he fought back. Both of them stopped and looked at the exocell, most likely surprised by his sudden appearance. Kokichi immediately took out his remote and attempted to control the exocell I was in. I jumped out of the exocell before he could and shot Kokichi in the back with an arrow. That shot should have been enough to stop him, since the arrow was coated with poison. The strychnine poison, correct? But why pick that particular poison? Some of the poisons in my lab were far more lethal. I wanted Kokichi to confess his true intentions before he died, and find out why he was always lying and trying to confuse us.
What do you mean?
If he was the mastermind, it would have been easier for him to hide in the shadows, right? He could have made it seem as if the late Junko was secretly behind his killing game. That way he could reveal himself as the surprise mastermind to liven up the game. Because of his suspicious actions, anyone would already suspect him as the mastermind. Yep, especially with that message in the courtyard. Kokichi said it was a hint, but was it necessary for him to get out of his way for just a hint? As a remnant of despair, I imagine he wanted to feel the despair of his plan being thwarted. I think that if he wanted the thrill, he would have carried out the plan carefully. So when his carefully laid out plan goes to waste, he would be in utter despair.
That's a good point.
Maki must have wanted to hear it directly from Kokichi himself. But it was pointless. I was a fool for thinking I could have a serious talk with him.
What are you talking about? Remnant of despair? What's that? I don't understand anything you're saying. But anyway, why are you starting up the killing game when it should have ended? You already know it's all meaningless and that I'm the mastermind. Do you love killing that much?
Shut up, you asshole. I realized it was pointless to continue the conversation, so I shot the final arrow. But then... Oh! He jumped in front of it. Okay, interesting. What? So he wasn't pulled in front of him, he jumped in front of him, so... I mean, that still kind of explains, yeah, she ran up to get the antidote, but that still doesn't suggest who, yeah, Kaito protected Kokichi?
Why? Why would Kaito protect Kokichi?
At that moment, my mind went blank. I knew I had to do something about the poison. Then again, Kaito's always been don't kill anybody, so that would be something he would do. I rushed to Shuichi's research lab for the antidote. So you didn't have the antidote with you at the time. I used strychnine poison to torture Kokichi for info, but I planned to kill him from the start.
That's so mean.
But that was my first mistake. Because of that... You what? I ended up killing Kaito. When I returned with the antidote, the hangar shutter had been closed. I assumed it was Kokichi's doing, but because of that, I couldn't enter the hangar anymore. I needed to give Kaito the antidote somehow, so I went to the bathroom window. Kaito, can you hear me? Quick, drink this antidote. So, was the whole thing about her knowing about the grenade timer was just me whistling in the wind, you know, made no difference at all. Alright. After calling out to him, I chucked the antidote through the bathroom window. Kaito noticed it and grabbed the antidote. But Kokichi stole it from him. So, wait, so her reasoning behind... So if she knew she'd killed him, what was the point in trying to... So she literally wanted to sacrifice everybody by guessing the wrong person, because it would kill him and kill everyone else. Would that not just leave her... That would leave her on her own. So I guess, yeah, I suppose it would be...
Sorry, but I can't die here, since I'm the mastermind of this killing game.
Wait, there's only one antidote.
Oh, you don't have to worry about Kaito. He fulfilled his dream, right? He already went to space.
Oh, damn it! Stop. The lid's still on that. Isn't it? Is it just the way the bottle is that reminds you to imagine things? But that looks like the lid's still on that.
Phew, I feel so much better. I guess that's a wrap. Or maybe not, because now another class trial is going to start.
Class trial?
You'll be the Blackened for this case, you know. The Blackened who killed Kaito.
I killed... Shut it! Screw the class trials! Like hell I'm gonna let you have your way. Kaito, why did you protect Kokichi? If you didn't help him then... I couldn't help it. Even if it's Kokichi, I can't have you kill anybody. What?
Kaito wasn't protecting me. He was protecting Maki. The situation just got way worse, huh? Maki is gonna become the Blackened responsible for killing you, all because she protected me. Don't you worry, Maki-Roll. I'm not gonna die that easily. Just leave it to me. I'll put an end to this killing game. You're so full of energy, even like that. You really are not boring.
What?
I want to see what a dying Kaito can do. Just show me what you got. I won't meddle with your plans.
What are you? Don't mind me. Run, Maki-Roll. Just hurry up and run. Run. And live. You gotta live. But I refuse to give up. I tried to enter the hang-up. Oh, okay, so that was why the control panel was all busted up. I tried to enter the hang-up by breaking the control panel with my knife. In the end, I couldn't.
So that's where the marks on the control panel came from, huh?
So how did she know about the timer on the grenades? It's a moot point, I guess. After that, I returned to the bathroom window once more, but I didn't see anyone. The bathroom door was closed. I called out, but neither Kaito nor Kokichi answered. The blood trail that leads to the... Kaito wasn't hurt enough to have that kind of dragging. Right? Unless he threw up blood, because he was throwing up blood, I guess, but... I couldn't do anything anymore. All I could do was leave. That's when I made up my mind. As the Blackened who killed Kaito, I would kill Kokichi during his class trial, in exchange for all your lives. So that's what happened. Then Kokichi, knowing what he knew, still helped Maki cover up her crime.
Was that why you smushed Kaito in the hydraulic press? Kaito wanted Maki to be spotless. As his friend, I felt obliged to help him.
How dare you make fun of him? You call yourself a friend. You enjoyed watching us suffer. You fucking asshole.
Oh, Maki is so scary. Good thing I'm in this exile. Pretty sure Maki would have killed me if I was out here in the flesh. So, what are everyone's plans now? With the truth out in the open, who are you guys gonna vote for? You can vote for me, but if you do, we'll all die together. Or vote for Maki and live. Well, choose whatever you want. I don't care either way. Why are you so calm? Your life depends on this too. Who cares? Just choose already. Come on, who are you gonna vote for?
No, we can't vote yet. We don't have the whole truth. This case isn't over.
Huh?
Thank you for telling us everything, Maki. Thanks to you, I finally understand. There's another hidden truth within your testimony. A hidden truth? Yes, I'm positive. Because there's something wrong with the testimony you've given us. The part of Maki's testimony that doesn't add up. Drinking the antidote? No. Sometimes there's no doubt. Okay, so Kaito protecting Kokichi. The control panel being damaged because Maki becoming the Blackened? Fuck it, just guess at this point. I don't know. Nope, not that one. Is it the damaged control panel? Because control panel. Which control panel are we talking about though? Maki said that she used a knife to try and break the control panel to enter the hangar. But that doesn't make sense because there's an alarm system on the shutter. Oh yeah, the alarm should have gone off if someone got close to the shutter. I was too focused to notice it at the time, but now that you mention it, it is odd.
Maybe the sensor just missed her.
Nah, the security there isn't that sloppy. If a shady person got near the shutter, the alarm would have gone off without question. Then why didn't the alarm go off? Like I told you, this isn't over. There's still a hidden truth to find. That's right, there must be some kind of reason behind all these oddities. I have no idea what to think now at this point. Finding that reason will help us reveal the hidden truth. I might just stop making guesses at this point because, yeah, I feel like I'm there, but just that last little bit. Did have okay. Well, I'm going to say the electro bomb. That time the alarm system didn't go off. But if you approach the shutter, the alarm would have activated with 100% certainty. Maybe it was just broken. Perhaps it was tuned to a special setting. Or maybe Maki's telling a lie. Do you really try to break the control panel with a knife? I'm not going to tell any more lies. Why didn't the alarm go off when Maki was trying to enter the hangar? It seemed like the alarm system itself was working properly. But maybe that just doesn't... Maybe it doesn't always trigger. The system didn't go off. If you approach the shutter... Damn it. Right. I think it's this one. Yeah, it's that one. So, I was right with... So... Something about the electro bomb. There is a way to disable the alarm system. An electro bomb would take it down. But Maki only had one bomb and she used it during the raid this morning. And the only other person who could have used one is Kokichi, right?
Huh? Why would I use an electro bomb? I had no reason to shut off the alarm, Red. I'd be at a disadvantage if I did that.
I guess so. I can't come up with a reason why Kokichi would want to cut the alarm.
But we know that the alarm system was neutralized. It had to be. In that case, then... I've got it. Disabling the alarm system wasn't the real objective. Disabling the safety thing on the press. What? The main objective of Kokichi using the electro bomb was... disable the press's safety function. It was to deactivate the safety function of the press. Deactivate the safety function? The electro bomb wouldn't have just taken down the alarm system. It also would have disabled the hydraulic press's safety function.
That's true, but why would he do that?
There's only one reason that anyone would want to do that. But if I'm right, it means that we've been thinking about this all wrong. All wrong? Oh, I can do this. I didn't know that. What aspect of this case runs contrary to this new evidence? The credibility of the death video. Right? No? Okay, fair enough. So it would be... Kaito's cause of death? Kaito's cause of death. What? If the electro bomb was used while Maki was trying to deliver the antidote, maybe Kaito didn't die by poison. It could be something else entirely. Yes, the cause of death could now be... not poison. Excuse me. Well, imagine the hydraulic press. Okay. Don't know why I had to scroll all the way through that to do that. The hydraulic press. Kaito could have been killed by the press after all. What? He could have. If the safety was off, the press could have crushed Kaito while he was still alive. Right after I threw the antidote, I tried to open the shutter. So Kaito should have still been alive. And if he was crushed by the hydraulic press after that, then we have our cause of death.
If that's the case, it'd mean the only one who killed Maki... It'd mean the one who killed Kaito wasn't Maki.
It would have been whoever was operating the hydraulic press. Kokichi.
I see.
Also, very impressive. The hydraulic press could have been the cause of death. But that's just a possibility.
What do you mean?
It's possible that I killed Kaito with the press, but there's no way to know. Kaito's death could have been either the poison arrow or the hydraulic press. Both causes are possible, but you'll never be able to determine it. No matter what.
No matter what?
That's not true. We can probably solve this mystery too. Right, Suichi?
Is it really possible to determine Kaito's actual cause of death? I don't think it's... Is it possible? I don't think so. I hate to admit it, but Kokichi is right. We have no way to prove the cause of death.
What did you say?
You can't check the body, and you don't have any conclusive evidence. You can't deduce any more from here on out. There's no way to know what happened. But I know, because I was actually involved.
So that's what you're trying to do. You were trying to commit an unsolvable murder.
Did I finally get it? Yep, that was my plan. The gimmick of this murder case isn't an unknown victim, but rather the unknowable culprit. No one understands but me. Only I know the answer. There's no more room for deduction here. Choose the culprit with your own intuition.
Intuition?
Are you troubled? I'm sure robots don't have intuition, Red. But there's nothing you can do about it. This is just how the trial goes. So, who is the culprit? Maki or me? The heart-racing excitement as the blackened and the spotless face-off. It's fighting time!
Oh. Piss. You know what? I don't think it was Kokichi. You know what? For shits and giggles, I'm going to go with Kaito.
Hey, that's my line. I'm the one who decides when it's voting time. Ah, come on. No one's gonna figure out the truth. Let's just vote already. This won't be a problem, right, Monokuma? Because you know who the culprit is, don't you? Just like you always do. Eh? Yes, of course.
Does Monokuma not even know?
What kind of reaction is that?
I don't know. I feel like there's something massive here. I don't think it's Kokichi. And I definitely do. It's not Maki. I literally just leaves Kaito as unlikely as a person to do it. I genuinely don't think it's anybody else.
The culprit, you say? Yes, of course I knew.
Why do you seem so flustered?
Flustered? Me? What are you talking about?
What's going on with Monokuma right now? Monokuma, do you not know who the culprit is either?
What do you mean I don't know? What don't I know, huh?
I mean, to be fair, this would be easily solved if somebody would just, yeah, can we take a break? I'll go up and grab a hammer and come down and, you know. You don't know, do you?
What does this mean? Why doesn't Monokuma know who the culprit is?
Monokuma doesn't know who the culprit is either? If Monokuma doesn't know, then what does that tell us about this case? Wait, this case? Yes, that's it. So that's what Kokichi's real objective was. Huh? What are you talking about? Kokichi wasn't just trying to commit a murder that we couldn't figure out. He was trying to commit a murder that Monokuma couldn't figure out either. A murder Monokuma couldn't figure out?
What's the point of that? Kokichi's the one who's controlling Monokuma.
But consider how many elements of this case would be cleared up. Prior to this case, Monokuma always knew the specific details of each crime, correct? That must mean that he was using some way of monitoring us. Perhaps there are hidden cameras strategically placed to avoid our detection. I can't say for certain, but he must be keeping watch somehow. Kokichi promptly used the electro bomb to scramble whatever that was. The electro bomb would prevent any cameras from sending video wirelessly. Which means it wouldn't matter where the surveillance cameras were hidden.
Like I said, what's the point? Kokichi's the one controlling Monokuma.
Before we determine that for sure, I want to make one thing clear. If the objective was to create a crime that would stump Monokuma, the Exocells... Yes, the Exocells weren't protecting Monokuma, they were watching him. As I had surmised. They were watching Monokuma. Watching him? Yeah, remember what Monokuma said earlier in the investigation?
You at the time, the Exocells were on autopilot and directed only to observe me.
If they were protecting him like bodyguards, they wouldn't have been facing him. They would have been scanning the area, watching us. But they weren't. That implies they weren't watching us, they were watching him. They were trying to make sure that Monokuma wouldn't go near the crime scene. That reminds me, before I stole an Exocell, all 4 units were focused on Monokuma. That's why when I stole one to enter the hangar, the other 3 didn't pursue me. So Monokuma must have been talking about Maki.
Even if it puts someone at a disadvantage, the class trial must always be fair. The person who shared that info with me didn't seem interested in sharing it with you guys. So you share it instead. That way it'll be fair to all the participants.
She didn't want to share that information because it would have linked her to the murder. In which case, it could only be Maki. Yeah, right. So, to summarize this discussion, Kokichi used the electro bomb in the hangar and the exocells to watch Monokuma, thereby creating a scenario in which Monokuma has no idea who the culprit is.
I told you there's no point. Kokichi's the one who's controlling Monokuma.
No, Kokichi might not be controlling Monokuma at all.
What?
But Kokichi's the mastermind, right? Shouldn't he be controlling Monoku? Kokichi might not be the mastermind.
What?
Remember, the only reason we think that is because Kokichi told us. Rule 1, Kokichi lies. Monokuma hasn't said a word about that. It's possible that Kokichi was just lying to us.
No way, lad. I'm definitely controlling Monokuma. The mastermind of the killing game is totally me. The one who pitted humanity's last survivors against each other is all me, baby.
That's right, he's a remnant of despair. How would we forget that?
That doesn't necessarily mean that he's the mastermind. Well, I guess, but is that really possible? Well, Monokuma,
I can't answer that question without causing problems, because I gotta run this trial fair and square.
even more reason to give us an answer. If you don't tell us the truth right now, you'll be an accomplice to Kokichi's lies. Does that sound like a fair game? Would you say this class trial is fair? Yeah, tell us. Is Kokichi the real mastermind or not?
I need to think about it. You're being way too forward, you know. Aren't you normally the forward one? I mean, I don't mind, because that's probably part of your strategy too. But in the interest of fairness, I suppose it's time to tell the truth. Unlike the lies you love so much, the truth should be impartial to everyone.
And what is that truth?
I'm not being controlled by Kokichi, because he's not the mastermind.
Well, we kind of already knew that.
What?
Is that really true? Kokichi was just messing with you. I never once said he was the mastermind.
Then it was all Kokichi's lie?
Yeah, this is what that would mean. With the key from the last motive, he was the first to learn the truth of the outside world. Based on his deductions, he fabricated a lie to make you all think he was the mastermind.
I see. Kokichi's own deductions.
Do you want to know? Then I'll tell you.
So why is he trying to print himself as the mastermind?
I'm getting kind of bored with all the lying, so everything I'll say now will be the truth, Kyle. His deductions got a lot of details right, though. Pretty impressive, honestly.
But what about the exocells? If Kokichi wasn't the mastermind, how did he control them so easily?
He just used Mew's remote control, right?
Mew's remote control? So the remote that Kokichi was using was made by Mew?
Oh, you didn't know? Mew not only invented the electro bomb and the electro hammer, but she also made the remote control that can hijack any electronic device. Kokichi just slapped the receiver on each of the exocells and took them for a spin. Isn't that a bit unfair to tell him all that? Fairness has nothing to do with it. I offered up that info purely out of spite. Spite towards you for trying to usurp the mastermind's role and take over the game. Oh, whatever. It's way more interesting to defeat an enemy who plays dirty anyway.
What's going on? It seems like they're actually fighting. There's no doubt about it. Kokichi isn't the mastermind.
We were just being dragged around by Kokichi's lies the whole time.
What were you trying to accomplish by pretending to be the mastermind, Kokichi?
Now you're gonna be all quiet. This is so frustrating.
If he's not the mastermind, who is?
Why are you so certain there's even a mastermind to begin with?
What? What do you mean?
Why, that's what I need to know basis. And you don't need to know.
Why would I know?
The real mastermind is not Kokichi. Who could it be? I was thinking it was Junko Enoshima, but that can't be it. She's dead. We've never come into contact with her. Well, it didn't stop her from turning up in the second game. If so, who's done this? Who planned this killing game?
Anyway, this conversation has flown off the rails. Let's get things back on track. This class tries to figure out not who the culprit is. Who the culprit is, not the mastermind. So yeah, get to talking.
I agree. Before we worry about who the mastermind is or what my intent is, let's figure out the culprit.
But Monokuma doesn't know who it is. How is he supposed to confirm the results?
We don't need to worry about that. Let's just leave the decision making to Monokuma. But you gotta run the class trial too, so no mistakes, okay?
You're trying to get me to do something.
You've been watching us solve all these cases, but you can't be a spectator anymore. You're gonna participate in the class trial from here on out.
Huh?
So let's resume the class trial. Monokuma, you gotta use your brain too. This will be the final class trial, me versus Monokuma.
You versus Monokuma?
When I play a game, I intend to win. But what's considered winning in this game? Beating the other players? No, beating the game's mastermind is the true victory. And that's how I win. That's why I decided to challenge Monokuma. If I can deceive Monokuma to the very end, then I'll be the winner.
You're dragging us around like this just so you can win a game?
As I suspected, your thought process defies all logic.
But since the outside world is in total ruin, this game is the only entertainment that we have. At least I can enjoy this game to its fullest and feel good winning.
You really are a remnant of despair. Your way of thinking is just chaotic.
Remnant of despair? Whatevs. Let's just get this started. If the students of Monokuma don't know who the culprit is, then I'm the win.
Don't underestimate me, or Suichi and the others for that matter.
But
It's just like a remnant of despair to try to assume control of the game. But these kids are all that's left of Hope's Peak Academy. If you think they're going to make this easy for you, you better think again.
What side are you taking here?
Side? Isn't it obvious? Monokuma joins your party.
Who invited you?
Now let's join forces and unravel the truth behind this case. Well, we were going to do it anyway.
Let's just ignore Monokuma. His actions are always beyond comprehension.
Yeah, let's just focus on the case.
Hey, be quiet so we can ignore you.
Now where should we start? We've already established what Kokichi is after. He's just going to keep talking anyway, isn't he? In my experience, whenever you learn a new fact, you learn something else along with it.
Yes, let's look for that.
You warmed up to him real fast. I guess you are both robots.
so now the truth comes out. That piece of evidence makes more sense now. The evidence that I couldn't wrap my head around. What was that again? Kato's coat. Bloodstain? No. The arrows, the crossbow. This? Hydraulic press. I don't know. What evidence needs to be analysed again? The murder video? Oh. Cool. Let's discuss the video of Kaito being crushed by the hydraulic press. Kokichi said that he filmed the video to prove he was not the victim. But we know that Kokichi was trying to mislead Monokuma, so what about the video? It's pretty strange to present evidence that condemns you after all.
Then what kind of mistake was Kokichi trying to get me to make?
Maybe he crushed Kaito with the hydraulic press. The cause of death would be unknown.
But if that were the only objective, there was no need to film it. Discovering the crushed body would have been enough. No need to show us the film.
That's true.
I guess you're starting to fit in after all. If you get any cuter, I'm gonna hug you.
Huh? Really? There must be a reason you went out of your way to show us the body being crushed.
No reason, really. That's just my twisted personality.
You're lying again, Kokichi. There's a method to your madness. If you want Monokuma to make a mistake, then showing us the video. You must have something to do with trying to fool Monokuma. Taking the video of the murder, but keeping the victim's identity hidden. What does it show? What doesn't it show? Was I right when I said that they paused the video and swapped? They show it going down to a point and then it's paused and they swap or whatever. So it was Kokichi that died. Hangman's Gambit. Oh Christ. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, 6 letters. What can't be identified? The victim. That would make sense to show that video of showing Kaito, but then it gets to a certain point where you stop seeing Kaito, all you see is a hand. Swap them over. The victim. Huh? Is it even possible? No, that's a question for later. For now, we know that if you show the moment of Kaito's death, of course it would lead us to believe he died. Even if we can't positively identify the body, we would still believe Kaito was the victim. And that it might be exactly the mistake Kokichi was going for.
Does that mean more of the victims were switched?
Switched?
Then it was some other dead body that got crushed by the hydraulic press. What?
Where would you even get another body?
There should be plenty to choose from if you reuse the body of a former victim.
If there was an unknown body, then we could have guessed the victim was switched. But too bad! Switching the victims was impossible.
Because it got up to that point there where it wouldn't go any further. Pause it.
The footage shows the body being crushed. When in the footage would they have been able to switch the victim? We already established that the footage was not doctored in any way. The camera doesn't have any editing function. Just play, record, and pause.
There you go.
Monokuma said there's no computer was used to edit the footage, remember?
Damn it, me and my big mouth.
Which means switching out the victim would not be possible. Also, if the victim was switched, then that would mean that Kaito is still alive. We already discussed this so many times. The chance of this happening is impossible.
It might be possible.
Huh?
There could be a trick to make this switch possible. We just haven't noticed it yet.
What trick is that?
My voice is struggling now at this point. Excuse me.
So you don't know, do you? I already said it's impossible.
Maki's not wrong. There is a way it could be done. So we can't just give up here. Hey, Shuichi. I'll think hard about this as well. So, can you confirm whether or not the victim switched places? If Kaito is alive or not? Maki, I don't like the thought that I killed Kaito. I don't want that.
Okay then. Okay then, let's talk about the possibility that Mikiro mentioned.
Himiko, if you call her that again. Yes, please. Oh, okay. Then let's talk it over again. Let's all talk it out. Then let's all talk it over together. Together. And don't forget, you're not alone. Don't try to do everything yourself. It's only going to wear you out. When times are hard, you got to rely on your friends. Yeah, I'm sure we'll figure something out.
So you guys are a stubborn bunch. There's no trick.
There's probably another lie.
However, if the victims were switched, then that would mean the footage was altered. How could it have been altered when we know the footage wasn't edited?
If we could figure that out, maybe we'd know how they switched places.
I knew there was a trick to that video the whole time. Kokichi made it, so it's 100% suspicious.
A trick to that video. What could it be? What's suspicious about it? We're doing a non-stop debate. Okay. Hydraulic press, Kaito's coat, the hangar's front shutter. There must be a trick to that video. That's what you're all going to figure out. There is no trick. You can check it, there's no editing function in that camera. Did the placement of that camera seem suspicious to any of you? The filming angles seemed unnatural, don't you think? That person in the video, was it really Kaito? Something seemed off about that video to me. When the hydraulic press stopped for a brief moment, could it be that the video was shot in another location? Any other bright ideas? Come on everybody, speak up. So, yes, the hydraulic press, so let's skip ahead. Right, okay. Boom. Kiba was onto something. Isn't it weird that the hydraulic press stopped for a second? Because when Kiba and I first investigated that hydraulic press,
Yes, that's right. The hydraulic press kept lowering itself without stopping.
but in the video, it stops and then smooshed. The hydraulic press stopped briefly, right before it crushed the body. But why would it stop? Why did the press stop? There's only one reason I can think of. Mind mine. Oh, it's this. Okay. Because it was so the emergency stop. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. The only way to stop the hydraulic press is the force stop button.
An electro bomb went off in the hangar, which would have interfered with the safety function. There'd be no way to stop the hydraulic press unless someone used the force stop button.
When you say someone, you mean Kokichi, right? He was the only one there.
Actually, did I press it by accident? I don't really remember. So what of it? The press only stopped for like a sec. You can't switch the victim in such a short time, can you?
That's true. There's also the question of how the bodies got switched while the camera was rolling. That would have clearly been caught on camera.
Well, the camera was rolling. I see. It wasn't just the press that stopped.
Hey? Huh? What do you mean?
If you stop something else at the same time you stop the hydraulic press. Yes, I see it now. That's how the bodies were switched. If you stopped that, you could have stopped the bodies easily. Never mind mine. Alright. The culprit stopped the video camera at the same time as the hydraulic press. Then, while the camera was off, they switched the body under the hydraulic press. This seems way too advanced for Kaito to plan. After the body was swapped, the press and the camera were started simultaneously. So it just looks like the press stopped for a moment.
That's what I've been saying this whole time.
When did you ever say that?
So they stopped at the same time. The camera position did seem odd to me. But now I get it. The trick wouldn't work unless it was set up there.
Huh? Why?
To get the trick we just described to work, the camera had to be set up precisely. Let's pin that down. Where was the camera set up? On top of the exit cell. Here? It was up on the X. That's pretty far away. You wouldn't be able to stop both at the same time. Oh, yeah. That's true, that. I never thought like that. But here? No? That will be wrong and you can control the press. Wait, is that not where the button is? Where the fuck's the button? The button's there. I mean, it looks like it's set up over here, but... Wait, sure. I mean, it makes sense that they're both within arm's reach, but... The video camera must have been set up somewhere around here. To operate and press the camera at the same time, it would have had to be near the switch. I guess, I suppose. I mean, it looks awfully... Whatever, it is what it is. That's why the video was taken from that unnatural angle. If they were recording it like normal, they would have used a better angle. And if it was recorded at such an odd angle, then it proves the trick was used.
Camera angles, huh? Looks like your cosplayer experience is finally useful.
Well, cosplay doesn't really come up all that much in class trials.
There was a reason that camera was set up there, but also a reason for the height. When the press was stopped, you couldn't really see who was inside it, correct? That was intentional. The body is mostly hidden by the press, making the swap easier.
The camera must have been placed in such a high position so it would produce that angle.
I wonder if they used a tripod in that hangar to adjust the camera's height. Did they get that from the warehouse too? Jeez, that place is like a 4D pocket.
You don't get to make that reference.
Then, that logic is correct, right? Kyokichi used that video angle trick and switched the victim in the hydraulic press. In that case, Kaito is...
Before he was crushed by the press, he was swapped with a different body. So Kaito's still alive.
Well, wait just a minute.
What? I summed it up so nicely.
Himiko, the different body you mentioned, what are you talking about?
The bodies from the other cases. Kokichi's the mastermind, so he'd... Huh? Wait. The mastermind?
Yeah, Kokichi isn't the mastermind, so... I don't think he'd be able to produce a body to switch out. What?
Well, Monokuma, do the rules allow for a body to be reused?
Very well, I'll answer that.
You're going on pretty easily.
Well, it's crucial information to make the trial fair. This discussion is pointless if it's not clear what the culprit was allowed to do, right?
They're a convenient mastermind, but I guess that makes defeating you worth my time.
Now then, regarding the reuse of a dead body. That is impossible! All the dead bodies have already been thrown away.
Thrown away?
The other bodies are gone? Then who did Kaito switch places with? Kokichi and Kaito were the only ones in the hangar at that time. If they were the only ones present during the body swapping trick, then the real victim was the other person in the hangar. So it looks like Kokichi's finally fucking gone. If it wasn't an old body, it could only be... What's wrong, Shuichi? Who did Kaito switch places with? Maki, I think I missed something very important here. Something important? If I have the timeline right, there were only 2 people in the hangar at that time. Which means that something had to have been decided before. I have to pin that down. I can't let anything escape me this time. Oh Christ. 6 and 6. Having a clue, so I'm just going to guess. Okay, we'll go with M first. Nope, not M. What else we got? T. Nope. C. Nope. I. Nope. What else is there? Is that one? V. Okay, V. Victim. Victim. Victim what? Victim. Victim change? Where was the C? C was there, wasn't it? Nope, not victim change. Victim. M. No. H. Victim. Victim what? Victim. So they agreed to it? Okay. Not what I expected. I can't believe I overlooked this.
What do you mean?
There were only 2 people in the hangar at the time the bodies were swapped, which means they were working together.